And a good Friday evening to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley here. We are talking all things weather as we do every day at this time. Thanks for being here on WFMY Plus. We've got a treat for you today coming up on our Weather Impact Show. We're going to be talking to the folks over at Climate Central about the billion-dollar disasters that we've seen across the United States. Should be pretty informative. We've certainly had quite a few of them across the Carolinas that come to mind, so we'll have more information on that. In the meantime, we'll be focusing on your local weather, which it's going to be pretty nice going into the weekend. A lot of improvements, let's say, for sure. We have warmer weather on the way, warmer air coming our way. That's going to be the forecast for your Saturday into Sunday. Right now, things are looking pretty comfortable around the area, but don't be too fooled, because while it's 57 right now, it won't be for very much longer. One of the clues, if you're really into the weather, and if you're watching the show, you probably are, one of the things you might want to look out for to kind of give you a quick and dirty forecast for the next couple of hours, you see how low that dew point temperature is compared to where our air temperature is right now? When the air is that dry, and when there's that much separation between the temp and the dew point, there's a lot of capacity for our air to cool. And so we tend to cool off a lot more quickly when the dew point is really low than if it were the otherwise. You already kind of know that just by living in the Carolinas. In the summertime, we don't cool off that quickly, but in the wintertime, we do. That's the reason why. It has to do not just with the less sunshine, but also the lower humidity and less water in the air, the water vapor. Hey, we got football tonight, though. Asheboro, Dudley, those are just some of the teams that are taking the field this evening. Most of those are kicking off at 7:30. If you're out there, well, you're probably already out there right now, but if you're not, hurry up. And it will be getting cold. Yes, probably in the 40s by the fourth quarter of those games, I would expect. So make sure you're bundled appropriately. But it could be worse. Earlier this week, we had that really cold air, even the little burst of snowflakes across North Carolina. It's not the case anymore. Temperatures have been pretty pleasant today. One of the interesting factors of today's weather, too, is we just talked about the low humidity. Look how cold it was this morning in most of the area. Upper 20s even in places like Reidsville and Burlington. And not always where you would expect. Salisbury got down to 28 this morning. Sanford got down to 27. So there's a lot of local variation with those low temperatures. But the reason I wanted to show that, we'll get the 7th in a second. Your high temperatures, though, were about 30 to 40 degrees warmer. So a big range in temperatures on a day like today, which just makes it a little bit of a challenge to kind of dress yourself at this time of year. Some of the things will carry into the weekend similar to today. It is going to be warm, even warmer too, as we go into the next couple of days. The winds will also be blowing around in a pretty big way. So that'll be something that you'll notice. Warm and windy weather through the weekend, and just not very many chances for rain over the next several days. Let's take a look at your futurecast. We got high pressure in control for now. Taking a look, with that cold front coming in our way this weekend, that's going to partially be responsible for bringing in that gustier wind. So we have high pressure down here, lower pressure up here. We are caught in between a little bit. That's going to enhance that wind. And it's a warm wind for us because the wind direction coming in out of the south and out of the west. So you can expect it to just be breezy and warm. Now by Sunday, it gets a little more than breezy, more toward the windy side. Gusts could be as high as 30 miles per hour. And even though the cold front comes through pretty early in the day, a lot of that cooler air is kind of lagging behind. So there's about a 1-day lag with this. Monday is not going to be frigid by any means, but it'll be cooler. And Sunday still keeps the warmth around. So here's your weekend forecast. I have us in the mid 70s or low 70s really for both Saturday and for Sunday. And the mornings, not even all that chilly. Sunday morning, you're waking up to 54 degrees. So that's certainly different than where we've been. Here's your futurecast wind. So we're talking about the gusts now. Wind, not sustained winds, but gusting every now and then to 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's during the day Saturday. This here is even overnight. So Saturday night into Sunday morning, still pretty breezy. And then as the cold front sails in, notice the winds have changed direction now. This is Sunday morning, gusting around 20 to maybe 30 miles per hour. And if you were planning a mountain getaway this weekend or something like that, or just taking a day trip up to the high country, plan on the wind being there with you as well. It could be gusting even higher than 40 miles per hour. We all know the mountains tend to be windier than here. Sunday will definitely be one of those days that you notice it. The winds will probably be relaxing pretty nicely on Monday of next week. We've just got to wait until we get there. So that's kind of the plan for the weekend. If we're looking for more rain or any rain to speak of, there's not really a good chance of it. I'm going to rewind this graphic just to show you one thing with that cold front on Sunday. There is at least a small chance of a little sprinkle in parts of North Carolina Sunday morning. We're not planning on that. We're not forecasting that. We tend to think it'll be just dry, but just want to let you know if that were to adjust, we would adjust our forecast as well. And don't be shocked if you see one. But as far as the next decent rain chance, that's next Tuesday. So it's a little ways from now. What's happening there is a little weak weather system dropping our way that could last Tuesday into Wednesday. Small chances for some scattered rain showers there. And with that, comes to be like that cool air wedge pattern that we see a lot of times this time of year. If we zoom out and kind of show this to you, high pressure directing cooler air our way from the north. So it wouldn't shock me if we're cloudy for a couple of days next week, maybe even some sprinkles Tuesday into Wednesday. That's within the realm of possibility because a lot of times we're pretty saturated close to the ground, and that just makes it easy to have gloomy, cloudy, and occasionally damp weather. So we'll be tracking that very closely going into early next week. Taking a look at the rest of the forecast for tonight. Let's start you out with that. Clear skies and not really as cold as how we've been. Temperatures are in the low 40s. Winds should be relatively light, not really a big factor for overnight, and that's where we're headed. For tomorrow, the clouds are not all that much in the morning, but as the day wears on, we could thicken up our cloud cover a bit. Most of those would be high-level cirrus clouds. Not much of anything to make it a gloomy day, but just kind of some filtered sunshine. The temperature, very warm in the low 70s. Remember, our average high is right about 60. So this is an above average day of weather for us for temperatures. And as far as the winds go, that is a factor. 10 to 20 miles per hour sustained, but gusting a little higher than that from time to time. That's your Saturday. Sunday is pretty similar as we look ahead. Temperatures will be in the low 70s for Sunday. We'll have morning lows in the 50s, right around 72 for Sunday afternoon, but the wind is a factor as well. Going into Monday, temperatures in the upper 30s, so a little cool there. And actually the afternoon, that'll be cool as well. So right around 60 degrees. Looking ahead to Tuesday, there will be a chance of a shower. If there is any rain on Tuesday, it would more likely be in the evening time frame. And we'll fine tune that forecast as we get a little bit closer. It could trend a little higher. Wednesday looks to still be on the cloudy side for the most part. Thursday, probably a bit cloudy as well. And then as we get toward Friday of next week, that's when we kind of break out of any cooler wedge type pattern and start to warm things up. Getting into the mid 60s. I do think there could be a strong weather system by next Saturday. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.